What is pipe and tubing? Basically, pipe and tubing is what? The equipment which is used for transporting the liquid. First of all, we will see what is the basic difference between pipe and tubing. Basically, pipes are generally heavy walled. Wall of the pipe surface is generally heavy compared to tubes. Tubes are having thin wall. Pipes are large in diameter while the tubes are small in diameter compared to pipes. Pipes are generally available in market in moderate length of 20 to 40 feet. This is the standard length of pipe which is available in market. While the tubes are available in the form of coils of several hundred feet long. Tubes are very long, having small diameter. In case of pipe, the walls of the pipe, or you can say the surface of the pipe, is usually rough. Pipe surface is usually rough. While in case of tubing, the tube surface is very smooth as compared to the pipe surface. Another point of difference is the nominal diameter of the pipe is related to inside diameter. Nominal diameter of pipe is related to inside diameter in case of the pipe. While in case of tube, the nominal diameter is related to outside diameter. Now what is the nominal diameter is the standard diameter, and on the basis of that nominal diameter, the pipes and tubes are available in market. So when I will say the nominal diameter of the pipe is this, that means that diameter is the inside diameter of that pipe. While in case of tube, when I will say the nominal diameter of the tube is this much, that means it shows the tube's outside diameter. That means pipe's nominal diameter are based on the inside diameter and the tube's nominal diameter is based on the outside diameter. Then next point of difference between the pipe and tube, the shape of the pipe is usually round. Pipes are available in the round shape, while the tubes are available in the shape like round, square and rectangular as well. Fine. So this is the difference of the shape between pipes and tubes. Then next point of difference is the thickness, how we can represent the wall thickness of this pipe and tube. Standard wall thickness of the pipes are represented in the form of schedule number. Pipes are available in the market in the form of schedule number when we are talking about the wall thickness of the pipe. The standard wall thickness pipes are available in the market like 20 schedule number, 40, 60, 80 and like that. These are the standard wall thickness. While in case of tube, the wall thickness of the tube is defined by the Birmingham wire gauge. This is the term which is used to represent the wall thickness in case of tubes. Fine. So these are the points of difference between the pipe and tube. And these pipe and tubes are used for taking the fluid from one place to another place, or you can say from one equipment or from one vessel to another vessel. We use these pipes and tubes. Now the next topic is joints and fittings. First thing is, when we are using this, As I have told you that pipes are available in the length of 20 to 40 feet. But if in case this length is not sufficient, then we have to attach the tube piece of the pipe. And for that purpose, we are using these joints and fittings for different purposes. Now let us see what are these joints and fittings. Basically, the methods used to join the pieces of pipe and these tubings depends on which factor. Then it depends on the properties of material and thickness of the wall. What is the property of material which we are transferring from one place to another place? That is very important while we are using the joints or any fittings. Thick wall tubular products, when there is a wall thickness is very high, at that time the tubes are joined by screw fitting and by flanges or by welding. The screw fitting, flanging, welding are the different methods of doing joints. Why? If we have thin wall tube, that means the tubes having thin wall, then at that time thin wall tubing are joined by shouldering or by flare fitting. Shouldering another method for the joint of tubings. But when we are using screw fitting, at that time ends of the pipe are threaded externally with the threading tool. When we are using screw fitting is nothing but when we are joining the two pieces of the pipe based on the threading on that. And for screw fitting on the outer surface of the pipe, the threading is done with the help of threading tool. Standard threading tools are available for doing the threading of the pipe. So this is about the joints. Now let us see what is the fittings. There are different types of fittings are available. Depends on the purpose of the use of that fitting, we decide which type of fitting is used. See here, if we want to join the pipe pieces, if I want to join the two pieces of the pipe, at that time we are using coupling or union. If I want to change the pipeline diameter, that means at one end I have large diameter pipe and at other end I have small diameter pipe, and I want to join that two pipe of different diameter, then at that time we use reducer. Reducer is a type of a fitting which is used for joining the two pipes of different diameter. Then next is the termination of the pipeline. Termination of pipeline is when there is a fluid flowing in a pipe and I want to stop that flow at one end. At that one end, I have to use the fitting which is known as plug. That plug fitting close the flow, or that plug fitting terminate the flowing of the fluid. Next is the changing the direction of flow. If I want to change the direction of flow, if flow is in this direction, I want to change the direction of the flow, at that time I have to use the elbow or bend. Bend is like this. So, by using bend fitting, I can change the direction of the flow. Then next is the branching of the pipeline. Branching, that means if the flow is in this direction and I want to divide the flow in different direction, then at that time I have to use the fitting which is known as T or cross. T is like this. So flow when it is in this direction, when I have used this fitting which is known as T it divides the flow in this two direction. And if I have used the cross type of fitting, it divides the flow in four direction. It is like this. Fine. So, if I want to divide the flow or I want to branching the flow in the pipeline, at that time I have to use T or cross type of fitting. And the last is controlling the flow rate of the pipe. If I want to control the flow, or either I want to maximize the flow rate or minimize the flow rate, at that time I have to use valves. We will see the different types of valves in detail in this chapter. So these are the different types of fitting which is used depending on the purpose of the flow. Now next topic is selection of pipe size. How we can select the size of the pipe? There are different factors which we have to consider when we are selecting a size of a pipe. The pipe size is selected basically on the, it is depend on the installation, mainly cost of the pipe and fittings, and cost of energy needed for pumping of the fluid. So I can say that when I am selecting size of a pipe for a particular operation, at that time it is mainly depend upon the cost of pipe and fittings as well as cost of energy needed for pumping the fluid. That means the cost of pipe and fittings, that means the material cost, and the cost which is required to transfer the fluid from one place to another place. That is the cost of energy which is required to transfer the fluid. In general, the cost of pipe and the annual capital charges increases with about 1.5 power of the pipe diameter. The cost of the annual cost is generally depend on the pipe diameter, and it is about 1.5 power of the pipe diameter. While the power cost, as I have told you, it depends on the cost of pipe and fitting, and it depends on the energy required for transporting the fluid. So power cost for turbulent flow varies with the 4.8 power of this pipe diameter. Fine. So when we are selecting size of the pipe, we have to consider the two things. First is cost of the pipe and fitting. Second is the cost of energy needed for pumping the fluid from one place to another place. Next is the valves. As I have told you that valves is used for controlling the flow. A valve, if I want to define technically what is the valve, then valve is a device which is used either to control the flow rate or to stop the flow rate of the fluid through pipelines. And the main types of the valves are gate valve, globe valve, plug cox valve, ball valve and check valve. These are the main types of the valve which is used in our industrial applications. Thank you very much.